Hello everyone, my name is Ripley and today we are continuing on the Resident Evil build series that we're doing. Today we're doing the entire first floor, which took a little bit to do. I think it took me about 7 hours to complete the first floor with 2 crashes as well, which was super annoying, but luckily I didn't lose too much both times. I did learn after the first time to save after each room because I'm like horrible at saving. But the crashes really reminded me to save, so I did, and I didn't lose too much, but still crashes are super annoying. My game hasn't crashed in a long time. I guess it's just... I think that this build is a little bit cursed because it's always been something each time. It's always been something that doesn't really want to play with me. But with that said, we are doing the first floor, which I'm super excited about. I am actually really happy with the end result, and I think it ended up looking quite close to what it's supposed to look like, which is always good, of course. And like I said, this did take me 7 hours, which even when I sped it up, I still had like 2 hours of footage to go through, which meant that I did have to cut out some stuff. I didn't have to cut out as much as I thought, but I did cut out like all of the hallways, which is fine because the hallways are basically just boarded up windows and boxes. A lot of boxes, like a lot of boxes. Like I swear I placed like 3 billion boxes. Like it's all I did for a while, it felt like. But I guess that's fine. Boxes are great filler items. And especially like when you play the game, I don't think you would notice how much it actually is. But now when I'm going through every single room, it's a lot of boxes. And then of course I had to use some boxes to replace some other stuff because we don't have everything in the Sims. But overall, it was just a lot of boxes. But working on this hallway, I actually really like. This is on by the east office, and I really like how this hallway turned out with the locker that is slightly fallen over and all the which is really helpful with the tool mod. Like the tool mod really helped this build a lot because I have a lot of times where I do need to flip the furniture around, and of course without the tool mod that wouldn't be possible. So I'm very happy that I learned to use the tool mod before I started with this build, because otherwise I don't think it would have turned out as good. Now we're working on the press room, which is where the first crash happened. I think that I made it pretty much exactly how it was before, so I don't think you noticed the crash. And luckily I did actually save just before I started this room, although like I said I'm horrible at saving. I did for some reason save for this room, so I did only lose the stuff that I did in here, which is fine. Here is where the crash happened in between, so I had to redo everything, and then I added a table and those folding shelves in between the takes, but I think overall it looks pretty much exactly the same. Then the second time it crashed was in the watchman's room, which again I had learned to save between the rooms, so that wasn't too much either. And after that we were lucky enough to not crash. I think it crashed because I went through I was following those item hunt videos, and I went through the game, between the game and the YouTube video and OBS too much, and I think that the game didn't really have time to realize there was back in it. I didn't probably go into the window, so it just I don't know, it just decided to shut down because it didn't really know what was happening. So I guess it's kind of my fault that I didn't really go into the window properly before I started to try and build again. But like I said, this was fine, it's no problem. Luckily I didn't lose too much. And for this build, I know that I am a week late. This video should have been up last Sunday, but like I said, it's a lot of work. This did take me 7 hours to finish. And although I wasn't feeling super inspired last week either to build. We were tired and kind of planning to stream as well, but for streaming, I don't really want to stream, but my internet has been really bad lately. I don't know, it's just really unreliable, and I don't know if I can stream on it when it kind of keeps going out, and sometimes it just disappears for hours, and I don't know why. So it's not something that I definitely need to fix and look into, but right now I do want to start streaming really soon, but I also want to make sure that actually I have internet to do so. And something else that comes out really soon is the wedding pack, which I'm super excited about. The My Wedding Stories, I believe it's called. It comes out on Thursday on the 17th, which I'm really excited to build for, of course. Gameplay wise, like I don't really do gameplay, but I'm really excited to build, and I think a lot of people are gonna build churches, which I am definitely up to building a church. I think it would be really cool to build like a really old-fashioned, almost like a medieval kind of style type of church. I think that would be fun to do, but something I really want to do, and might be a video that comes up shortly after the pack comes out, is like an outside wedding, like a summer outside wedding venue with a lot of like flowers and plants, and maybe like a barn. We have like the reception and the party and everything, but that you will get married outside. I think that would be really pretty to do. So I think that will be my video, or like my first video for that game pack. And I'm actually super excited about this new pack with all the little like details that you can do at weddings. Like I said, I'm not a gameplay person, but I think it's super excited that we can really like nitpick and control every single detail of the wedding, which we haven't been able to do before. And I think especially the thing that it seems that the guest actually sits down now for the wedding is super exciting. Like earlier it's been like you seems, or like the guests have been at the bar while you seems getting married and no one is watching the ceremony, and it's like why? And I don't think we have that problem in like either the Sims 3 or the Sims 2. I think that the Sims set down automatically when the like ceremony started, but we don't have that in the Sims 4, which is super weird. And I think also it's a little bit weird that we have had the Sims 4 for like 7, almost 8 years now, and that haven't been like patched in at all. Like your Sims have never been really watching the ceremonies, so it's kind of like sad in a way that it has to come with a pack, but I'm glad that it gets fixed. But at least I'm glad that they finally fixing it. And something else that I'm super excited for is the new world. And although I haven't seen much of the world, I'm really excited for the lots. I think it's 9 lots, and I'm really excited to build a bunch of different type of venues. Like I said earlier, I wanted to do like an outdoor wedding kind of venue, which is more like, I guess it's more like if I would get married, I would kind of want to have a summer outdoor kind of wedding. So I guess I put a lot of inspiration on that, and that's why I want to build that first. But then of course I want to do like that medieval type of church and a lot of other stuff. So if you have a specific venue, no matter how weird it might sound, please leave it in the comment, or as normal as it might sound. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to see me build any type of venue or any type of build at all, just leave it in the comments and I will definitely try to do that. Yeah, I'm super excited about this and about the new pack which comes out. I wish that it would come out either on Valentine's Day or earlier, but we're getting it on the 17th, which is still like around the same time. And of course this is just not a Valentine's pack, it's a pack that we will be able to enjoy. Which I didn't really think that the wedding stuff would be my thing, like weddings, because I build mainly, and I think that this is very much a gameplay related pack. Of course we do get a new word as well, which I'm really excited about. At first I thought it was Greek, like a more like Greek inspired word, but I think it is might be more like Italian. I haven't looked at the word too much. I haven't really looked at the word like on Twitter or what people have been saying, but I think it's more Italian, which is gonna be really fun. Regardless, to have a new word to build in and have maybe like a little bit new style to play around with and do something with. Something else that I also want to build is I just finished watching like Encanto, which I know I'm late, but I really want to build that like Encanto house, because it's like this Mediterranean style house which I really love to build, but I never really get to build it. So this is also something that's gonna come up soon. So I have a lot of videos planned and I don't really know when they're gonna come out. Of course we also have the second floor of this build, and then we have the third floor and the library left. So maybe like 2 more videos, and then I'm gonna do like a full tour at the end. So it's like 3 videos left of this series, I would say, or like 2 and a tour. And then we're gonna move on to doing other stuff. Of course we're gonna like mix it in, throw in some like wedding stuff. because of course the pack comes out before I will be done with this build. And yeah, and then streaming, of course. Streaming as fast as my internet doesn't wanna be annoying, I guess. I just wanna fix the internet. And then I'm gonna stop streaming. Which is kind of sucky because it did go really bad right as I was planning to start streaming. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start streaming like last week. But then, like I said, my internet is horrible, so that's gonna have to wait. It's coming though. So you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Riipley's. It's Riipley with 2 I's and an S on the end. Working on the build. We're doing the West Office right now. I really like this West Office. I think it's I think it ended up looking really, really nice. And overall, I'm actually really happy with this office as well as with every other room in the build. Like for most parts, I did use like an item hunting videos for each room, which was really helpful, and it really got me like putting in the items quite quickly, which is what I needed. Like I said, this took me about 7 hours, which is what I kind of expected it to take. And those videos were really helpful. I think that in the beginning I was kind of like thinking that screenshots would work, or like I could search of pictures on the internet, which they're not very much and not very good pictures on the internet. As well as when you do these item hunts, you do get the kind of like 360 view, like your characters turns around and you can see kind of everything that you need to see, which is super helpful. A little bit tight. I think that the scaling might be a little bit off, like not off, but it's a little bit tighter than I would. I really like another tile on a lot of the rooms would be helpful, but to get the overall like shape and get everything to fit in nicely, I think that even though the scaling could be a little bit bigger, I think it's overall looking pretty good. I don't know if your Sims can get around everywhere, but also I don't think that your Sims can access a lot of these places. But it is like on some places you have like the garage door that comes down and your Sims can come through, or like you have furniture blocking like entrances and like hallways and that kind of stuff. So this build is mainly for looks. Like I don't think you could play in it with some changes, I guess, like removing furniture from doorways and removing the garage walls and that kind of stuff. But I think that this is more to look at, I guess. It would be interesting to see how you will play in this. Because at first when I started to build this, I did think about a lot of like functionality, which is why I had like stairs instead of a ramp in the main hall, because so your Sims can actually walk up. Otherwise, would I have done a ramp, I would use like a roof piece. But now, of course, as I start to expand and do all the other stuff, functionality isn't really a priority anymore, because I'd rather have it look more accurate than have it be functional, I guess. Of course, there are always ways around it, but like I said, this is mainly used for viewing pleasure, I guess. And now I'm working on this kind of like dark room, and it was a little bit tricky to do. We don't really have the stuff, and also like I think there's like a microscope in there, and we don't have a real like microscope in the Sims. We only have this like giant thing, which is actually what I have scaled down on the desk there, which is kind of funny, like because that is like this huge item that you sit there, and I just kind of scale it down to look sort of like a microscope, like it would look like in real life. But I just think it's funny because you can see the little chair in the back. Just like, don't look too closely, it's fine. For the records room here, this was quite easy to do. It's mainly just like bookshelves and like clutter, not too much. And I really like this kind of rooms if it goes quickly, because I have a lot to do. The second on this thing now, this is the printer, definitely. There is a printer there in Resident Evil. We don't have printers in The Sims, but we have this kind of like weird get to work like science stuff, so we can just pretend it's a printer. That's probably the closest thing we have to look like a printer as well, so it's a printer, don't worry about it. Then also I did wanna put in a lot of the item like stuff that you can pick up, and I did put in like all the herbs. I had been building for like 6 hours straight at this point, and I thought that certain things was really funny, like for example in the reception, as you might have seen in Resident Evil, there's like the statue of the policeman from like shoulders and up, and we don't have that in the Sims. We do have this kind of like mayor with the hat, with the top hat that I put in instead, which I thought was super funny for some reason, even though I mean it's just a replacement. And then there was some other stuff God, I don't even remember, but like I said, at this point I thought that the stupid thing was funny because I was really tired, which can also lead to some mistakes. Maybe I don't think I made like a huge mistake anywhere. I think it looks pretty accurate, but I mean, like, I guess I started to be a little bit looser at this point with my item placement and my like putting everything in. A lot of clutter here now in the east office. We have a lot more space to work on, still a little bit tight, but like we have these 6 desks that has like a bunch of clutter on them. Again, like Strange Reveal and Get to Work was really like coming through for this build. Here we also have a coffee machine, and we have this like water cooler, which we don't have in the Sims. So what I ended up doing is just like sizing up like a water bottle. Those are like from Jungle Adventure, they're like portable shower water bottles, which, I mean, you get the idea, right? and then I'm just kind of building up the rest of this place. Those Get to Work bookshelves are really helpful, and I think they really get that kind of course they're meant to be in a police station. They designed for it for Get to Work, so they do fit in very perfectly in here. Just having like this desk here that are made of shelves, just a little bit of a clutter here and there. We also here have like a sheriff's office, very similar to the other one that is in the west office. Not too much of a difference. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit more space to do stuff, but overall we have just like the same amount of clutter and we have like a chair in here as well, like an extra chair, and I put in like a blue box, which is supposed to be like, because in Resident Evil there's like a toolbox here, and so like we have this blue box that will replace that in the Sims, but otherwise we just have like a bunch of books and stuff in here. Then all we have left is, I think we're gonna go to the break room next, and then we have like the observation stuff and the boiler room, but I think that's about it for this building left. Like I said earlier, I really did enjoy building this, and then later on, of course, we're gonna move on to doing the second floor, and then the third floor, and the library. The library is, I thought the library is stretched over the first and second floor, but it is over the second and third. So my plan is then to do the second floor, and then in the next video, and then the video after that will be the third floor and the library, because the third floor is quite a lot smaller. We're also probably gonna fit the clock tower in that video as well, and then like I said, the tour, and then we're done. And then we're gonna put in, I think the next week is probably gonna be next video after this one is probably the second floor of this building, and then after that we're gonna do some wedding stuff, and then I will say like wedding stuff in the middle of so we'll see, like today's Sunday, next Sunday is the second floor of this, and then probably on the Wednesday after that will probably be like a wedding video, and then on the Sunday, so Sunday in 2 weeks is the last video of this one, and then we have like maybe some more wedding stuff, maybe encounter stuff, and then we have the tour comes out sometime after that. But I think that by the end of this month, this entire build should probably be done, and when it's done, it will be up on my gallery. My gallery ID is RiipleyYT, that's Ripley with 2 I's and the YT and at the end, if you want to check it out. However, this will be a massive build, and it will it's already like 500k, which is funny because when we finish the main hall, I believe we're at 300k, which means that the second or the first floor is 200k. Like I've spent 200k I spent 200k on this first floor, which I don't know where all the money went. Maybe it was all the boxes, but I don't understand how we could spend so much money. And at the end, this build will probably be closer to 1 million, which is kind of exciting, I guess. I feel like building something for 1 million simoleons is quite a challenge, and I feel like I'm doing it very easily right now, like we're already halfway there. But I was leading up to something, but I don't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. But now we're moving on to the boiler room. That will be the take. Really hard to say boiler room. God, it doesn't matter. In here, this room was probably the trickiest to do. Just because we are missing some stuff that I needed as well as kind of figuring out. I wasn't really sure at first if this was like outside or inside, but after looking around, I determined it is on the outside. And overall, actually, this part of the room I actually really like, but on the other side where we have all the pipes and all that kind of stuff, I feel like they're a little bit lacking from how it looks in Resident Evil to have it translated to the Sims. I wish we had a little bit more here, but overall I am not too picky about this room. I think it looks fine overall. With that said, we're about to jump into the tour. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and leave a comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. And there will be a playlist of this build series in the description, so if you missed the first 2 parts, make sure to check that out as well. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all very, very soon. Ripley out.